Thanks so much for joining me and welcome to this channel called For Real. If you haven't watched any of our videos before, my name's Claire and my husband's name is Jeremy. We're Australians and we've been living in Siem Reap, Cambodia for nearly 6 years. Usually our videos are about positive things like living here as an expat, finding accommodation, cost of living and things like that. Today though, I want to talk to you a little bit about the situation with the border between Cambodia and Thailand. I'll give a quick overview of what's happening right now and I'll share some sources of information so you can keep up to date with what's going on. I can't tell you how many times I started to make this video, then before I could finish, the situation changed. It's very difficult to keep on top of things due to the volume of information and reports being produced, with updates being added to those constantly. Today is Saturday the 13th of December and I've decided to go ahead with this video even though it will likely be out of date very quickly. Please note that this video will not include any political commentary. We will monitor the comments section very closely and any comments that are political in nature or intentionally provocative will be deleted. In this video, our focus is answering the question, what is the current situation, and not discussion of the events that led to the current situation. Before we go any further, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge how terrible the current situation is for Cambodian people. Our thoughts are with them, and I know, as viewers, yours are too. There are a lot of organisations doing great work to support the growing population of internally displaced people. If you live in Siem Reap and want to offer support, we suggest taking physical donations to the Siem Reap Provincial Hall out near the Angkor ticket office, or donating money to reputable organisations. I'll leave a link in the description. In fact, there will be a lot of links in the description, so please be sure to check them out. I want to start with some facts that will give a bit of context to what I'm going to say. Cambodia has 25 provinces. Of the 25 provinces, 3 share a border with Laos in the north, 9 share a border with Vietnam to the east, and 7 share a border with Thailand to the west. These 7 provinces that share a border with Thailand are Prey Vihia, Oddar Mean Chey, Banteay Mean Chey, Battambang, Pay Lin, Pasat, and Koh Kong. In this map, the yellow line represents the border. Each province has a capital, and some Cambodian provinces have a capital whose name is the same. This is the case with Siem Reap and Battambang. For example, Siem Reap town is the capital of Siem Reap province. So when you see reports about Siem Reap or Battambang in the news, it's important to know whether it's referring to the town or the province. Why is this important? Well, Siem Reap town is about 140 kilometres from the Thai border to the north and about 150 kilometres to the Thai border to the west. The northern border of Siem Reap province is just 50 kilometres to the Thai border, so you can see knowing whether they're talking about the province or the town is very important. All right, now that our geography is in order, let's look at the current situation. At around midnight Cambodia time on Friday the 12th of December, President Trump announced that the leaders of Cambodia and Thailand had agreed to halt fighting and honour the ceasefire agreement that was signed on the 26th of October. Back to our map. If you look at Koh Kong province on the map, you'll see that the yellow line stops. This is because the rest of Koh Kong to the south of this point is coastline. Unfortunately, at around 2 AM this morning, Thai Navy warships began firing shells from the ocean into the province. This sparked an emergency evacuation order, and we have seen reports showing large numbers of displaced people attempting to move to safer areas. How many people have been displaced or impacted? Yesterday, I saw reports of 227,000 people displaced, and this morning I saw that number increase to 331,000. These numbers do not yet include people in Koh Kong, so the actual number is going to be much higher. Yesterday, there were reports that 909 schools had closed, impacting over 216,000 students. No doubt this number is much higher now as well. How many Cambodian civilian casualties have there been? The most recent report I can find states that there have been 11 civilian deaths and 76 civilians injured. So what's really going on at the border? Well, the short answer is that it's very difficult to know for sure. As I mentioned before, the sheer volume of information, video and images circulating, along with fake news and deliberately misleading reports, makes this nearly impossible to navigate. Which areas are safe? This is a difficult question, and until yesterday the answer would have been that areas further than 50 kilometres from the border are safe. I've read a press release from Cambodia's Ministry of Interior published early yesterday on the 12th of December, stating that F-16 airstrikes have occurred as far as 80 to 90 kilometres inside Cambodian territory. At the time of making this video, Siem Reap is safe. Should you still come to Cambodia? If you have a trip planned for December or early next year, should you still come? This is something you need to decide for yourself. We would never give advice one way or the other. You need to do your own reading and arrive at a decision that is right for you and your circumstances. Everyone's risk tolerance level is different. Having said that, it can be helpful to see what the current advice is for people considering travelling to Cambodia. I looked at 4 national travel advice sites: Canada, the US, the UK and Australia. All 4 sites say do not travel within 50 kilometres of the Cambodia-Thailand border, so that is consistent. Canada and the UK sites have only that one notice. For Australia though, a new warning was added yesterday and it says, exercise a high degree of caution in the provinces of Preah Vihear, Siem Reap, Banteay Meanchey, Battambang, Pasat and Koh Kong. Note the use of the word province there. For US citizens, there has been a whole country increase from level 1, which is exercise normal precautions, to level 2, which is exercise increased caution. You should monitor these alerts on your country's website. It's important to note that disregarding them may well void insurance in some instances. What sources of information and news do we recommend? Links to all of the sites I mentioned are in the description of this video. Open Development Cambodia is a website where you will find official announcements from various Cambodian ministries. The Ministry of Interior has been publishing a daily press release that gives accurate and up-to-date numbers, including civilian deaths and the number of internally displaced people. There are several news publishers in Cambodia as well, but they are of varying quality. I suggest monitoring some or all of them to get the fullest picture. 4 that we can name are Phnom Penh Post, Khmer Times, Cambodia Ness and Cambodia News. If you've got suggestions for other ones, please drop them in the comments below. If you want to take a deep dive into the background of the current situation, I highly recommend you follow Arno Dark on Facebook. His in-depth considered commentary is excellent and it's incredibly helpful to have someone putting all of the elements of this conflict together